All right, we want to welcome to the program this morning. I just got the official pronunciation. I was off. To our guest this morning, actress Lynn Rajskub. Good morning. How are you?
Hi. Good morning.
How many different ways have you ever heard your name, or you even stopped to count the different ways?
Well, my favorite is when people just give up midway through.
Well,
looking at it does not compute.
I'm kind of in the same boat. My name's Treherne. If you talk to my sisters, it's Treherne. So I know what that's all about. Well, listen, it's a pleasure to have you on the program this morning. When I get these possible interviews, and right away, before I recognize the name, I recognized your face. I go, I've seen her a whole bunch of times. And I try to remember all the different stuff that... You've been on a lot of different things over the years.
I have. I do a lot of different things. I've gotten to the point where I have that face where people just think they know me and they're not sure where it is, where it's from, which is appropriate.
When they do recognize you but not sure, where do they think you are coming from, or where the connection has been? Where do they think that's...
Well, it's gotten to the point where I'll get, do I know you? And I just, straight out, I'll say, well, yeah, it's probably from TV. No, that's not it. It's a carpool, and they just have to go through their Rolodex. I'm like, trust me, you're not going to find it. I'm not from the city. I think it's from somewhere.
Well, that's a good thing, though. I mean, because as an actress, that means you're working. That means you're getting out there, and you're starting to get anchored in our minds here, and so that creates more work for you, I would assume.
Yeah, definitely. I've been keeping busy, and it's true.
Now, you haven't really been typecast as any particular type of character, have you?
I like it. You're kind of pumping me up this morning. No, I can do it all.
Well, listen.
24 was a big one where people definitely see me as Chloe because people do love 24 so much, which is also a great thing in itself, you know?
That is. Well, it's nice to be loved. I wonder what it's like for those actors and actresses that play roles where people just hate them. I wonder if that extends to when they run into you in the street or in the coffee shop or something.
I think it does. I talked to Greg Itson, who played Charles Logan, the evil president, on our show years ago, and he played golf with the beloved president, David Palmer, on the show, Dennis Haysbert. And, yeah, they had a great story about them playing golf and people just being really rude to the not good president.
Like, you want to go, wait a second, I'm just an actor. Well, we had on the show here a couple of weeks ago, we had on here Nancy Cartwright. We were talking about this film that we're here to talk about this morning.
Yes.
And I've connected now better with this because I did this time get a chance to watch part of it, and it's driven me crazy that I did not get a chance to finish watching. It's called In Search of Fellini, which is really kind of a story that Nancy lived. So I'm assuming as I watch this, and I really only got to watch the first portion of it, she is the character that's coming of age. Is that correct?
That's right. So the girl in the film, played by Ksenia Solos, is gorgeous and so wonderful to watch. There's so many close-ups of her face, but she's as she goes through this, she's a small-town girl, very insulated life, and she doesn't realize that her mother, played by Maria Bello, is going through cancer, and Maria Bello does not want to tell her daughter, and I'm sort of the voice of reason. Meanwhile, the daughter is going on her own adventure that punctures this safe world. She's chasing after the director, Federico Fellini. She thinks she's going to find him, and she just goes over to Italy and kind of experiences the real world for the first time. So it's this like fantastical dreamscape movie anchored in a lot of emotion and real relationship.
Okay, so I haven't had a chance to see where she goes overseas. Do we have a lot of Italy scenes in the movie?
Oh, my gosh. Yes, it's gorgeous. There's a lot of just her adventures being taken into crazy parties by people and just the streets of Italy, and it's really beautiful. Yeah, my parts were all shot in Ohio, but...
Did you get to go over there at all?
No.
What? Now, see, that's not fair. You should have at least been able to just ride along and just watch, if nothing else.
I know, but you feel like you're there when you watch the movie, and for being on such a small budget, they just did it. It's really stunning. And so if you like, movies at all and emotions and mother-daughter relationships. It's a great emotional journey.
There's some great cinematography that just right off the get-go that I was appreciating on this. All right, so the movie, let's talk about it. Is it out now? Are we able to download this? Are we able to watch it if we wanted to today?
Yes, it's out today on all those formats. The one I use is Amazon, but it's Google Play and straight up DVD today, and iTunes, so you can find it today.
It really is a good movie, and I'm going to finish watching that this afternoon when we get off the air here. Our gal that we also have part of the program here this morning, she always comes up with some curious questions of stars like you. So she was curious, do you have a separate telephone number that you hand out to, like you call a plumber, you don't want to give them your regular number, so you have like a backup telephone number or phone?
Oh my gosh, I shouldn't admit this, but I'm the opposite. I'm the person that's like, waiting in line outside of Applebee's. Like, I don't know, am I allowed in here? I don't have any. Give out the number. I go on the road as a comedian. I'm by myself. There's no security. Like, it's probably not good. But yes, you can have my home phone number right now. I will give it to you.
Do you think at some point you could reach that stage where you're going to have to be a little more cautious in how your street life is compared to your celebrity life, or are they mixed together too close?
No, I don't think so. I actually think I'm to the point. If anything, 24 was the closest to a fervor that people would have had. But I think it's pretty. I don't want to say easy, but you make your choices to sort of keep your life in a certain way, and I'm the person that people see, and I look familiar to them. But usually, people are very nice if they're fans, and they just kind of say hello and move on.
Well, I'm definitely a fan of your work. Do we have anything to look forward to after In Search of Fellini now?
In Search of Fellini, I'm doing a lot of stand-up comedy. I have a movie called Night School, which is a Kevin Hart movie that Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart are starring in. That was a lot of fun, completely different genre from In Search of Fellini. That's coming out in the fall, so you can look for that. Another independent movie called Cold Brook with Bill Fichtner, another passion project. He's an actor that you'll know if you see him, Bill Fichtner.
Awesome.
And, just keeping it going.
Well, it sounds like you've got money to pay the bills then. That's cool. Listen, the movie is In Search of Fellini. It's out today, and Mary Lynn plays the voice of reason in it. I like the character right off the get-go. Mary Lynn Rajskub, thanks for joining us this morning on the morning show.
Thank you so much for having me.